Hello, I'm James Sylvester from JPS Reliability and also of Reliability Maintenance Solutions Limited (RMS). RMS have been a vendor for and supplier and use of Emerson equipment for many years now, from the 2115 to the new 2140, the online system 6500, and also the new wireless system. Now, this presentation is to show you more of an educational one about PeakVue and how you can use a PeakVue technology to resolve or find any lubrication issues before you get any defects with your rotating assets. So this one is actually on post-maintenance, where we did a survey post-maintenance at a plant where we actually detected the fitters mechanics had installed the incorrect grease. On this site, as part of the site's maintenance philosophy, after any major outage, you do a full vibration survey on the assets just to make sure that there's none of the human errors have been come in, no one's put nothing back together wrong, or there's no risk of any infant mortality on these assets. And on this one, we actually detected an issue with some of the fan bearings through the PeakVue technology, where the actual contractor installed the wrong grease. Background is we've got a critical plant fan delay shaft about 2 meters long on a variable speed drive. It has an operational speed of around 1220 RPM just to keep the flows right. Historically, it goes 5 RPM around that. And we have 22224 EK taper roller bearings. So these are like so big bore bearings, big taper roller bearings. And part of the annual maintenance, when they have the shutdown, is they take the caps off, clean out all the old grease, check the seals, put new grease in, and then she goes back online. Now, one thing with fans which people tend to overlook is they think a grease is a grease, like it says EP2 or it says that one says EP2 and it's the same EP2 grease. The grease is not a grease. There are so many different variations in the types of grease. Now, one thing to take into account is the DN factor. Now, the DN factor is a multiple of the shaft median diameter by the speed, and then you times it by another factor. So, for example, taper roller bearings, 2 ones, you times it by 3. So this has actually got a really high DN factor. It uses really good quality grease. So when the bearings are working, there's enough oil, soap, viscosity in there to make them work or not skid. This here is a photograph of the analyzer on site when we were there. And as you can see here, we were well shocked to see, we've never actually seen it before, a lubrication factor be this high off the scale. And a mechanical one to be so low, you expect them to be both high, but never has this happened. So straight away when we were at the asset, we thought, well, something is wrong with this. There's a lot of friction in there. Back at the machine, we pulled the trend up. You can see here we have a high-ish but relatively stable trend, historical trend. Last time on site they greased it while we were there and it came down a little bit good, so we're trying to control that. And then this up here, would you believe it, is after maintenance. Well, you would expect it to come a lot lower after the grease has been changed. Now, this is a time waveform. Now, the time waveform of the PeakVue technology is actually gold. It is where you can do some severity assessments. So on here, we can see here that like the carpet level is pretty flat, got a lot of noise, and not many periodic signals or defects or impacts or activities going across there. Now, this is the autocorrelation of the PeakVue time waveform. Now, autocorrelation is one of the unique things that the Emerson software has on the Machinery Health Manager. What it does is it takes the time waveform, as long as you have the speed set correctly and you validate your data, it flips it over and basically sees what is periodic, what is reoccurring, and what is friction, which is then based on the PeakVue technology plus, which gives you straight on the analyzer. When we run it in the software, it is absolutely flat. There is no impact on that bearing. It is pure skidding, friction, and a lot of noise. So I thought, well, how can that be? They said they packed the bearing correct amount of grease, the right amount of grease in there. So the grease that was selected by the contractor, we could say was not the best DN rating for this application. And what's happening is this, due to the size of the bearing and the force in that bearing, it's literally breaking that grease down to the soap and it was starting to separate. So we asked them, what grease do you use? They went, well, we use the correct grease. Look, it says here at the top, front. Well, when we looked at the specs of the grease and what the viscosity is and the additives, well, it actually said this grease is recommended for industrial marine applications, chassis components, and farm equipment. Its sticky formulation stays in place. So from that, you can see this is more of a stickier grease for pins, links, and changes. It's not good for a fan going that fast with that shaft diameter. So thank you for this listen to this short presentation, but it's just to say how to use PeakVue technology and the new PeakVue Plus technology, and how it can probably save you a lot of money, and it is a really good technology to use. Thank you very much.